Oh, hello, Facebook Live. Oh, this is my 25th broadcast. Oh my gosh. I ain't even been keeping up with how many. Well, not as of today, I have not. But I didn't think this would be my 25th one. Whoop, 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 whoop. And to think, I didn't used to like speaking in public, but now I'm up here doing broadcast. But anyway, welcome to Sex, the Story Behind the Pleasure. I am Shamel Jackson, the owner of Breaking It Down with C. Jackson, author of Weight, Women, and Intimate Tales. How are you guys doing? If you're watching the replay, tell me how you guys are doing. Is it hot where you at? Is it cold where you at? If it's your first time coming in, type a 1 or a heart in the screen. But welcome, welcome, welcome. If you come in and say hey, I would love to greet you and say hey and tell me how you heard about the broadcast. Hey, Shalane. Hey. So, but just coming in, welcome. Share this video with your followers. Even if you're watching the replay, share this video. I would love you to do that. But like I said, how you guys doing? I'm doing great. This is my 25th broadcast, they say on here as I tuned in. But I'm going to get to what we're going to talk about tonight. As you see, the title is Sex or Parents and Sex Part 2. Part 2. So last week I did the first part. Because, May, we just had Mother's Day, and Father's Day is in June. So I really want to get on this whole, that big sex talk with the parents or parent, whatever it may be for you. So that's what I wanted to talk about. So you want to share this. It's going to be good. I'm excited. I really want you guys to talk about how the talk went with you. Like, was it no talk at all? Was there a talk? Anything you want to say about the big talk that you had with your parents, or the big talk you did not have, and how did that affect you? Well, it can be about sex, love, relationships, anything in those topic areas. Thank y'all for coming in. I see you guys coming on in. But I just, it's so funny to me to hear people's different stories about how they heard about sex or what they had to talk. Some people say they had a big talk, like detail, honest, raw, real cut through, no sugarcoat anything. And some people say, well, we can talk about anything, like nothing at all. But last week I ran across an article on time.com, and it was so like wow to me. And you can look it up when you get done watching the video, but it was on time.com, and I posted it on my page last week, but I wanted to talk about it on this broadcast. It's called How to Talk Openly with Your Kids About Sex, and it deals with Dutch people. And if you're not familiar with Dutch people, they are from the Netherlands, and that's a country in Europe. And so they there's two authors, Michelle Hutchinson and Rena Mae Acosta. I hope I'm pronouncing her last name right. But they wrote this article on Time, put this article on time.com. And I just thought, it was so fascinating. I'm going to talk about a few things in it. You guys can feel free to comment on it, what y'all think about it. And of course, I'm going to talk about what I think about it. It was some things I'm like, whoa, that's excellent. And there's some things I'm like, I don't know about that. But here we go. So Rena, they both have children. The people who wrote this article both have children. Rena has a kindergarten, or a 4-year-old that's in kindergarten. And they're getting ready to talk about in the early sex age. My mother is really blunt and didn't sugarcoat anything. She talked about her experience as a single parent and becoming a mom at 15. Wow, yeah, that's what I was talking about on the last broadcast. One of my friends had Andrea, like a conversation that you had, because her mom was a teen mom and she didn't want her to go through those same experiences. And that makes me think about, I posted this too, Kevin Hart and his wife are expecting their first child together. And in there's a video that the link, I have it on Instagram, or it's on Facebook and Instagram. And so the video is like an interview he did. And he just talks about his relationship with his 12-year-old daughter as far as dating, relationships, and sex. It's like a 3-minute clip, but you can find it on YouTube too. But it's just, I think, and it was perfect timing for what I'm doing. So, you know, he really had a good interview, and I just want to tell a little bit about it because I want you guys to go see it for yourself. But he talked about how when his daughter would come and tell him something, he would laugh, or when his kids come and tell him something, he would laugh. But not, I think he said he wouldn't laugh in front of them, but he would laugh because he was like, that's the same thing I did. Like, he was like, don't trip, because, you know, they're going to do the same thing, some of the same things. They're going to have the same experience or encounter the same things that we went through or that they went through, but you want them to make a better decision. So that's kind of what Andrea was saying. Her mom didn't sugarcoat anything, and you know, she wanted her to know, so she didn't want her to do the same experience. And that's what I like about, that's what I'm doing, you know, breaking it down with C. Jackson, and to help teens make an informed decision about sex through the stories of others. So as you can see, there's a story that Andrea's mom gave, her own story, and so that's, she was intentioned for to help that to, you know, make her make a better decision. Anyway, look up the Kevin Hart video, and then back to the article on the Dutch people. So Rena, she has a 4-year-old daughter, and they're doing early sex ed lessons, but they're not going to be talking about, you know, all of it. It's like gradual lessons. So they're going to be talking about butterflies in your stomach, friendship, and whether or not you're happy to hold hands with another child. However, the other author, Michelle, she has a 9-year-old daughter, and they're going to have conversation about puberty and romantic relationships. So they do this every spring. Every spring between, they have week-long classes between the ages of 4 and 12 where they talk about different topics related to sex. And of course, as I just told you, the 4-year-old and then the 13-year-old going to have a totally different lesson. But that's how you have to be. And I'm like, 4, oh my God. But you really start talking about it before then. You learn about their private, they learn about their private parts, and all of that is sexual related. So this is the Dutch people. This is Dutch. So it gets more interesting, guys. And so, and usually, I remember, y'all know, the sex lesson I heard was probably in the 6th grade. And that's all I pretty much remember as far as my in class. And that's what it mentioned. You have this embarrassing lesson. In America, we have this embarrassing lesson in biology. But everyone like, ooh, you know. So that's what I remember about. But Dutch, they talk about it openly. Like, Dutch parents talk about it openly. And they even talk about how there is a study that 80% of American children and teenagers do not receive any form of sex and sexuality education before having sex. So if the Dutch are doing this every spring, starting at, you know, early as 4, as you can see, that seems to be very working for them, because they say that they have the lowest teen pregnancy rate, and the United States has the highest teen pregnancy rate. And so that's kind of like, you know, that maybe they own to something. Like, we may not do everything that they're doing, but they're on to something. Because I'm going to get into something that I thought was like, you know, wow, that's, I don't know if I want to do that. They even allow, they're a little more relaxed. They allow their children to have romantic sleepovers. Now, what y'all think about that? It says they have romantic sleepovers in their own homes. If you treat teenagers as they are mature, responsible enough to make decisions, they might actually live up to those expectations. So they're thinking, okay, we give them a little bit of freedom, or, you know, they might, you know, live up to what you want them to do. So what y'all think about the romantic sleepovers? Like, me personally, no, I'm not gonna let my child let their boyfriend or girlfriend sleep over. Like, I don't know, but what do y'all think about romantic sleepovers? If you have a child, or if you your future child, what do you think about your child having a romantic sleepover? I mean, of course you want to know who your children are friends with, but would you go so far as to have a romantic sleepover? Now, it didn't give details about, you know, I'm sure they're probably not sleeping in the same room. I don't know. They just said they had romantic sleepovers. They allow it. So that's kind of the relaxed part about them. But I do like this, the every spring, you know, week long. It may need to be more, I'm not sure. But do not agree with the men to sleep over. Yeah, that's gonna, yeah, when I read, I was like, what? And so, but you know, this is Dutch. This is a different culture, and like we can learn a couple of things from them. But you know, I don't know if I want to take that on for my own children or so. But romantic sleepover. So also, it goes on to say American children are exposed, and I talked about this in the last broadcast. American children are exposed to so many sexual content, so much content in the media, with music videos, TV, on the internet. I mean, it's so much, and we try to, well, American parents try to keep, you know, it away, but it's already out there. Like, they avoid talking to them, but they're already exposed to it, and so you really can't not talk about it because they're already exposed to it. So once they're exposed to it, you kind of need to either clarify some things, confirm some things, or lead them in another direction if need be. So like I was saying, it is out there. It is out there. And the Dutch, they ahead of the game. Like, they getting you at 3, 4 years old. And I was saying, Frederick Douglass said, it's better to build strong children than repair broken men. So you better get them while they're like baby, and so before, you know, they get, like, not to say it's gonna be too late, but it's just easier. So that's where they're headed. And so also it says sexting is beginning to be a big thing, and sexually explicit text is starting early as middle school. Yes, it is. It's definitely happening in middle school. Like, where are my teachers at? Andrea, are you experiencing any of this in your school setting, or in not, maybe not your classroom, but maybe another teacher is experiencing things, with the phones and all of that? What's going on with that? Any kind of rumors? Because I know school is where it's at. School is where it's at. They talking about it, see their friends and all that stuff going on. He said, yeah. So yeah. So I was saying, there are people who worked around children that longer than I have, so I know they have stories to tell. But yes, just in the time frame that I've been in the education field or working around children, it's so much going on. So that's why I'm like, y'all, let's open up. We've been talking to kids. Wow, we've been talking to kids about sexting. Y'all, that made me think, and I was going to do a broadcast on, well, not particularly sexting, but just images, period. I was, and I just give a brief overview of this, or I go into more detail with a separate broadcast. When I was like 18, oh, this is like first year of college, I was dating someone, and there was this girl that had sent him or emailed him, like they don't even do that no more, email him pictures of her naked. And I'm just gonna be real, y'all, like, you know, some of y'all, I'm sure most women can agree to me, they've had the passcode to their significant other's email or phone or whatever, and you like, okay, let me see what he up to, because you go looking for stuff, you're gonna find it. So I went looking one day and I found it, and I was like, oh my gosh. So I'm just like, my first thing was like, what the world? And then my second was like, she really sent this? Like, you sent it's out there. Like, yo, all of this is out. Like, out. And so, yeah, they're emailing, they sexting now. So it's, you know, I don't know what the term would be if you were emailing sexual images, but it's that. So Andrea, so when it comes to sexting, what has it made school like? Sexting, what kind of effect has it had on the school environment? Sexting, because this is big, y'all, because they want phones at 5 now. Like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm telling my children to get phones to the 18. I'm just playing, but I'm just saying, like, it's so much. But if you, like you said, the Dutch, they're teaching it early so they can be able to make mature decisions later on. So they're trying to get them fully equipped before they hit puberty. Like, they're saying they do this stuff before puberty. They get all this information before puberty. So, Andrea, I don't know if you heard my question or not, but I was asking, how does sexting affect the school setting? How does sexting affect the school setting? Or have kids approached you about the topic? Like if their parents may not be talking to them about it, because a lot of times, kids approach teachers and ask them different questions, and they do, for real, they do. And so, it's kind of like, what do I do? Do I tell the parent? Do I? The person have not had to stop students. Okay. Wow, they go to jail for sexting. Yeah, it's a big deal. Like they can, once you sin, that's it. Like that girl, she don't know what could have happened with those pictures. She just luckily I was not like this horrible person and was send it to different places. Like, but if she was do that now, your reputation is dead. Like it's gone. Like it's pretty much damn. I mean, you can. I don't know. That made me think about Kim Kardashian, but that's a whole nother. I ain't gonna touch that right now. Kim Kardashian. So yeah, sexting. So I gotta do that. I am gonna do one on sexting. Not sure when I'm gonna do that, but May and June I'm doing parents, and I can't wait to next week because I'm gonna have a guest on the show. So yeah, I'm gonna have a show. I mean, not a show, but a guest on the show. So let's see what else they got. We talked about sexting. They talk about, Dutch schools, they provide age appropriate lessons on intimacy and sexuality. And so, as I said, it's not just like full blown day one. They, according to your age. But so they have there's some questions that she mentioned from her son. Is sex fun? How does this turn out? Those are questions that they're asking. And so, is sex fun? I mean, it sounds funny, but that's what they're asking. So they feel like if they are more open about it, there'll be less, if they're more educated about it, they'll be able to make a better decision about it. So you got a lot of topics that, the kids are going to ask about: gay marriage, sexuality, gender issues, and consent. And they say children who have a good relationship with their parents tend to wait longer before having sex. And I think, that's a good point. Like if you're open with your parent is open about it, you tend to wait. You may wait. Also, I mentioned the romantic sleepovers. It says 75% of Dutch teenagers, they come the first time they have sex. And data from the World Health Organization shows that Dutch teens are among the top users of the birth control pill. So teenage sex is allowed, but preferably in a controlled environment. That is, under the teen parents' own roof. A safe place to have sex encourages safe sex. So that's where they got the whole romantic sleepovers from. So like I said, they're equipped with sex before they even hit puberty. Like that's too late. They gotta do it before. But that's the Dutch, y'all. That's the Dutch people. And so they said Dutch kids are considered to be the happiest kids in the world. But that's their take on sex. And it said if American parents are anxious to keep their children safe, perhaps it would be better if they and teachers were more open about sex after all. And I think, as far as teachers, being a teacher myself, it puts you in I don't know if they mean all teachers or sexual education teachers, but if you're not a sexual education teacher, it still puts you in a awkward position because you don't know what that parent wants that child to know. And so, or what the parent, what the parent child doesn't want to know, what they do know. So, Andrea, or if you're a teacher, whoever else is a teacher in here, have you had to have that conversation? Has a child ever approached you? And if they did, how did you respond? Like, did you go to the parent and say, okay, such and such asked about me? Because obviously the child don't want you to go to the parent. They probably don't, because unless they probably would ask their parent themselves. So I don't know, but I'm in a setting where having sex at a very young age is very common. So of course, every now and then they're gonna ask me questions, or they may have concerns about their sexual activity. I remember a girl, she was, having relationship issues, and so she, it's just typical girl stuff, but it was like bigger than typical girls, because she was really depressed about whatever she was going through with this young man. But they got a lot going on. There's so much misguided teens out there, so they ask about relationships, love, all that goes together: sex, love, relationship. That's how I say, if you have a story about sex, love, relationships as far as your parents, maybe you went to them, asked them, talked to them about it. Sometimes it can be awkward, sometimes it's not, but it's good to have that conversation. I'm gonna tell y'all a story. I remember, I'm trying to keep up with my time, y'all, because I can be talking, and I forget all about the time. I remember I was 14, and I got some people who went to this church. The church I go to now, the people that go there. Some of them are on here, but this is funny. I was 14, and there was this guy at the church. I was I played the trumpet, years ago, and I played it in my church. And so there was a guy there. He was playing saxophone. Yeah, he played saxophone, and some other people that played musical instruments there. And so I liked him. And so he liked me too, because he gave me his number, and he wrote on a sheet of paper. And okay, it's before cell phones for me anyway. But he wrote his number on a sheet of paper. He was like, Wednesday night Bible study. I remember because, after church, me and Mom went to Kroger's down the street from the church. And so I was in line. We were in line checking out. And I said, Mom, this boy at church, I don't even know what I was thinking. It was so funny. It's funny now. But this boy at church gave me his phone number. And I was like, can I call him? I asked my mama, can I call this boy? Because I was, she wasn't playing. They weren't playing. And so she was like, no, he's supposed to call you. And I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, well, he gave me the number. Like, I don't know. I don't know why he asked me. I don't really just know. I just remember having his number on a sheet of paper. And so I asked my mama, can I call him? Well, I'm trying to think. I think I called him on three-way with my friend. We had a mutual friend. I think we were on three-way at some point. But nothing came from that. Like, that was it, y'all. We didn't date. I just had a crush on him. That was it. And at church, and he don't even go to church no more. So that's done. I don't know if he's married or what. I think he has children, but I don't know if he's married. I don't know. It doesn't even matter. I just thought that was a funny story as far as relationships and love and stuff with my parents. So anybody got any other stories, y'all can share. Like, if you're open to sharing, share your stories. Maybe it's a relationship story, advice you got from your parent that was either really good or really bad. I can't say it be really bad, but I can say it be really good. So share. Even if you're watching a replay, share your story. So yep. And y'all, I don't know if you've been watching my previous broadcast, I'm in a new setting right now, so I missed my frame, y'all. Look, this is my frame, but I gotta fix it. Like, the glue gun done messed up, so the Breaking Down with C. Jackson frame will be back soon. Because I missed my backdrop. Like when you was at the club, they had backdrops you take pictures in front of. And so now I just got this blue wall. That didn't work for me. So I had to go buy me something, and my mom lectured me on receiving stuff for guys. Oh wow. How old were you, Andrea? Yeah, I told this story about Valentine's Day. If I got, like, I don't know, I was like 17 or something. And so it was a Valentine's Day special broadcast I did back in February. So y'all just gotta go check back and watch that one. In my response to his to his gift, I thought it was funny, but he didn't think it was funny. I was just trying to be honest. But he didn't think it was funny. Not sure in high school though. Okay. Well, that was sweet of him to get a gift. I'm sure he liked you, or I'm sure he did. If he was trying to give you a gift, or did he? I mean, just to say for asking, did he have a crush on you, or did he just want to buy you a gift? Did he have a crush on you? I mean, I'm just thinking most guys buy gifts for girls they like, and so that would be my assumption. Did she let you keep it? Did she let you keep it? Did she let you keep it? Yeah, he crushed on you. So, did she let you keep the gift? So, no. Aww. So, did you give it back to him, or did you throw it away? Okay, y'all be asking like 3 questions at one time. So, did you give the gift back to him, or did you throw it away? Don't remember. Okay. Andrew, you gotta remember. No, I'm just playing. But yeah, some stuff we don't remember. But that story I gave, I was 14, so I was like, well, maybe I wasn't 14. Maybe I was 15. I don't really know. But I was in high school, and so that was like 17 years ago, almost 20 years ago. Oh my gosh, y'all. This girl is getting old. One of my students asked me how old I am. I never tell them how old I am. Like, never. I might tell them different age. I say, y'all don't never know how old I am. Not for me, you not. Not for me, you not. So I might tell them 20. And they saw the gray hair in my hair. So they like, she probably in her 30s. 30s. Do you think sexing can lead to open or self-pleasure? Which, I'm trying to see what you're trying. Well, as far as the open pleasure, what do you mean by open? Well, self pleasure. Obviously, you're thinking about masturbation. But what do you mean open pleasure? Oh, well, I guess open, you're talking about with other people. Oh, oops, open, smart. No, you said open. Legally to decency. Oh, YouTube porn. Yes, I do. I do. I do think that could lead to porn. I think it leads to both. And I'm gonna write that down. Sexting, just to remind myself about that. Sexting lead to. Yeah, I'll be writing stuff because y'all be coming up with stuff that I may forget, or I need to look up something else about it. But yeah. So I don't know what what the ex-boyfriend, how he responded to what the girl emailed to him, her body. And so maybe she sent more, I don't know. But maybe he would watch porn. I'm sure if he didn't watch it then, I'm sure he was eventually. I wasn't with them watching porn. So, but yeah, I do think that it can lead to porn and self pleasure. I believe so. Cause you want to know, like, somebody send you some, and then maybe it's a new age phone. So too lonely to be alone. Shalane, I never heard that song, but I'm gonna write it down. Too lonely, be alone by the deal. By the deal. No, I have not heard of that, but I'm gonna look it up now. All right. Well, guys, I'm getting ready to wrap up, but it was something I was gonna say about sex and then porn. Oh yeah, because like, you know, that person, that particular person, whoever sent you, maybe they don't send you anymore, maybe I break up or whatever, but or maybe you just like, okay, maybe you don't want to constantly keep asking for new photos, so new photos, because you want to go seek out other people. So yeah, that can lead to porn, and that's another broadcast I'm going to do. I am going to do one on porn. I've heard some different stories, people with pornography, and so I think it's gonna, okay, I know who Baby Face and L.A. Reid are. Okay. And there's this song, I do not know her name, y'all, but it's a new song. Well, it's not new, but it's like recent. It's come on 88.5 a lot. And I was like, oh, this is a good song. It's basically like, you know how women sing about, a lot of women sing about, oh, he broke up with me, you had a good woman, yada, yada, yada. I'm like, you know, yeah, this good. I mean, I'm jamming, y'all. And then she it gets to this part about, you know, I guess he was good in bed or whatever, but she was like, I can do that for myself. I didn't realize she was saying that, y'all. Okay, when we do the not we, but when I do the broadcast on masturbation, I'm gonna let y'all play this song, because I forgot who sings it, and I forgot the exact title. But y'all, I'm not gonna sing tonight, because I was about to sing. But if you want to look it up, you can. You can, but that's no, it's not Leela James. This, I know Leela James. It's not Leela James. Her voice is little. It's a little lighter. Let me see. You can look good. Let me see. LaPortia Renee. That's her name. LaPortia Renee. Let me see. I think I can type. Yes, I can. Let me try it, y'all. LaPortia. Okay. That's her name, LaPortia Renee. Uh-oh. Good. I'm glad I can type while I'm talking. Good Woman by... Yeah, thank God for Google. Yes. LaPortia. I'm trying to type fast, and I'm messing up. Portia. Okay. Yeah. That's it. LaPortia Renee. That's her. But I'm gonna talk about that when we talk about masturbation. But yeah, y'all, I'm gonna get ready to head out, you guys. I'm trying to keep these broadcasts especially when I'm doing by myself, especially when I'm doing by myself, 30 minutes or less. And then when I bring a guest, I really be trying to look at the time, but I forget. I just be talking, I forget. I gotta look at the time, especially when I have a guest. But if you guys don't have any questions or comments, I'm gonna close out. Remember, you can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, Breaking It Down with C Jackson. And just stay up to date, because I got an event. Save the date, July 22nd. That's a Saturday. I'm gonna be doing an event for teen girls in Memphis, Tennessee this summer. So I'm going to have more information about that soon. So, but save the date, July 22nd. That's a Saturday event for teen girls. That's all I'm going to say. That's it. Just save the date. So if you know a teen, you know, if you have a teen, you know a teen, whatever, jot that down, July 22nd. I'm doing an event. it's been a minute since I did an event for teens. So I've been just kind of working out, planning out, gathering it all together. I got so many, like I said, if you know me, I got millions of ideas, and I'm good. Some I might give to somebody else, some I do later, but this one I'm doing this summer for teen girls, July 22nd. Save the date. Yes, and I'm gonna look up these songs. Too Lonely to Be Alone, see what that's about. Yeah, these old songs be they be something. Like I told y'all about when I did the broadcast on Fantasies, like these old songs, be like, what? They sing that? I can't believe it. But yeah, okay guys, I'm gonna get off here before I go into a whole nother topic, a whole nother broadcast. But like Dutch parents, you want to look up this article. It's on time. It's on my page. How the Dutch people are doing it. Early sex ed classes. Like I said, you gotta get your kids to at the rate things are going on. You gotta tell them when they hit the womb. So that's just my that's my thoughts on that. But next week we're having a guest on here, and she's gonna be talking about her talk with her parents and how that went or how it didn't go, and other things. So you don't want to miss it. June we're gonna focus on the men, so I'm gathering information for that because it's Father's Day month, and so I'm excited about that. Anyway, if you watch the replay, share the video, still comment, tell me your stories. Whenever you watch, I don't care if it's a month later and you watching it, tell those stories. I can't wait to hear about them. I hope you guys have a good night, morning, whatever time you're watching this, and I'll talk to you guys next week. Same time, same place, 7 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. Bye.